welcome to another episode of Laying Down the Lore of the Old World, a lore
From Scotland,
podcast in which we aim to separate our dragons from our dryads, our griffins from our goblins, and our witch elves from our wood elves, and generally ask, what's up with this Warhammer stuff? My name is Ben Crumbarber, and while I used to know pretty much fuck all about Warhammer, I now know very little. With me is my co-host, Christopher Crowlin Allen.
Hello.
Who, despite years of valiant effort, still knows next to nothing.
And
my dear brother Darren.
What ho?
Who knows so much about Warhammer, it's frankly disturbing. After an abysmal attempt at playing Vermintide many moons ago, this dichotomy between our levels of understanding became clear, and this series is an attempt to address that ignorance.
Hooray!
Do you remember Vermintide?
Vaguely.
I've still
Vermintide.
I've still got it written as Vermintine, so I'm going to change that now so that I don't make a fool of myself.
Isn't that Jimmy Neal song? Fog on the Vermintide, it's all mine, it's all mine. No? Jimmy Neal?
No, that was Lindisfarne.
Please yourselves.
That was Lindisfarne and Gaza. Jimmy Nail.
Whatever happened to him?
Don't you know your 90s crap football anthems?
What did Jimmy Neal sing?
Crocodile shoes.
I knew it was something about shoes. I was going to say, is it something about a nail in a shoe? But maybe not.
Crocodile shoes. Looby dooby doo.
Way out. Yeah.
And those are the actual lyrics.
We make a load of fun, but we love Catachan and all its jungle fighters.
Was he a Geordie?
Yeah.
Could you not hang when he's like, crocodile shoes, pet?
Away.
He was well Geordie. He was the Geordiest. Yeah.
That was the Geordie edit, wasn't it?
Speaking of kind of north, how's Scotland, Ben? I feel so far away from you.
And I'm probably going to sound very roomy in this room that has no...
Why, does Scotland make you fatter?
Nothing new then.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I'm probably going to sound jolly.
It's fucking hot up here, man.
It is just ridiculous up here.
It is ridiculous. Like, we went out yesterday and I was fucked within about 15 minutes of leaving
I wish
the
I was
house.
in Thailand.
Yeah. I was like, at least I was ready for it then, you know? But, yeah.
I've heard it's pretty warm up to north. Global warming and all that.
Yeah. The amount of times since being up here, I've heard people having conversations in which they're like, you know, people think that we just moan about the weather, and then they come over here and then they experience what like 25 degrees is like over here. And I'm like, well, I'm not sure that's any different to how 25 is anywhere else. But whatever makes you feel better about moaning your ass off about it, that is fine. We asked for some Your Mum Is So Warhammer contributions from the listeners. Would you like to hear some?
Looking forward to these. Yeah, go.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, right. Your Mum Is So Warhammer. She's a free mount option.
That's really good. That's so good.
I've got a funny feeling that some of these are not good. They're going to go way over Krell and I's head. Like, I just, yeah. Right, here we go. Your mum is so Warhammer that seeing her is why Plague Lord Skrulk clawed out his own eyes.
That's a deep cut. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Pretty deep, that one. Your mum is so Warhammer, her safe word is Falcon.
Nice.
Your mum is so, and the 40k version of that, which is Your Mum Is So 40k, her safe word is Drukari, which is pretty good as well, yeah.
Nice.
Your mother is so massive, she weighs 40,000 Warhammers.
I like the effort. I like the.
Your mum is so Warhammer, she goes down on all of the Emperor's enemies.
That's just rude.
Graphic.
That's just
rude.
Yeah.
I'm just offended.
Well done, guys. Thank you.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you. And keep them coming. Next, we want Ben So Warhammer. And so on.
Yeah, I don't know what's the theme then. I don't know why I'm asking this question because this is just welcoming insults. Like
Benny.
Your mum is so Warhammer is usually kind of fat themed, isn't it? It's kind of weight based.
Yeah.
Ben is so Empire. He's constantly getting his guns out. because the Empire is constantly getting their guns out.
Nice. One of their 7 guns. Is it 7? How many tanks do they have?
8. Well, technically 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben is a Warhammer. He's not allowed within 50 yards of a griffin.
Yeah.
With wellies.
It's true.
Wellies.
It's actually true. Oh, true. Yeah, and wellies. Makes rainy days real challenging.
Wait until you find out about demi-griffs. They don't have wings, Ben. Can't fly away.
And that's the ones you take to the
Ben
cliff.
gets hot for.
Right, moving on from my sordid affairs. Crowley, you know what time it is.
Oh, God, I don't know what to say or do. I don't know what happened. Oh, I do.
Hello, Reichland. It's time for the WhatsApp recap.
Hey! I do remember, actually. It's all coming flooding back to me now in the form of Darren's episode summary. The royal heroes of the Bretonnian kingdom. Finishing off with the Green Knight and the Black Knight. The knight that is green and the knight that is black.
The knight that is green. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The Power Ranger that is white. Yeah.
Who else did we talk about?
Yeah, just those two. That was it. And I learned that the Green Knight was also Gilles de Breton, actually, right? He was the chosen one.
He was the choice of the chosen chooser.
Yes, that's it, yeah. There was a guy, and didn't we follow his Grail kind of fantasy underwater into kind of like...
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he ended up in the chamber. The king, some guy,
or whatever his name is, and he burst explosively from the lake, which like it seems
like a baby coming out of a womb. Splodge, just landed in the core of the Lady of the Lake.
That's awful, because I was just about to say the verb for leaping, for exploding from the water, should be jizz. And then you said a baby flopping out of a womb. Great.
Well, they're kind of related. He was discharged into the Lady of the Lake's court in the middle of a party, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he hadn't even finished his meal, and then they discharged him back out of the lake at great velocity.
He just towel dried his hair, and they just launched him back through the water again. Yeah.
Didn't know whether he was coming or going, and then he just just destroyed everyone, didn't he? He just became an absolute badass.
And he was that the only, I say documented, was that the only written bit of lore of a Grail Knight actually following through to the end game in terms of becoming a Grail Knight? In the others, it's all kind of shrouded in mystery and...
Yeah, for the most part, yes. It's the only instance where the knight on the quest was taken into the other realm of the Lady of the Lake. The only one that's been documented in any way. There have been a couple of these bits of color text they put in like text boxes in Warhammer Army books, as was. There've been a few hundred words written about a Grail Knight finishing to completion while he drinks the mysterious golden liquid from the chalice. But in general, it's the most detailed version of the Grail thing.
And I mean, how reliable is that story? Because it must have come from him. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, guys, you're not going to believe where I've just been. Like, no, we don't believe it.
They don't call it his story for nothing, Ben.
Wow. Yeah.
Right, my chappies, welcome to the final Bretonnian episode. Where we are finally Bretonnian.
Oh, get your Grails.
Oh, I don't have mine. I haven't.
No questions from Ben this episode.
You can't ask questions. Ben hasn't got his Grail.
Can I use this as a makeshift Grail?
Yes. You can have the peasant's Grail.
I will have this bottle of melatonin as my makeshift Grail.
You can bottle melatonin.
Yeah,
you can bottle melatonin. Yeah. You have to kind of jump at it from a certain angle, and then it's
like an old timey remedy. Like, get your melatonin and become more virile. And
if you want to sleep, run at a wall. Yeah.
So as with all of the final episodes of A Faction, this will be a look at the units that you can play on the tabletop. And what we'll do is we'll go through the very short history, or the short list of Bretonnian army lists in Warhammer Fantasy. Not in the Old World, although we will touch on that towards the end. So to start off, we should say that...
No cannons, right?
No cannon.
cannons.
Well, no. One cannon in 3rd edition.
Bring out the cannon.
Bring out the one cannon. But it was dressed as a pantomime horse.
No, it's been booked. It's been booked out. Yeah.
Bring me my Trojan cannon, which sounds like an amazing way to apply a condom. It's like a Nerf gun that you shoot onto your dick.
It's a flashlight that fires.
Yeah, bam!
Pump action.
A pump action flashlight.
On the old pump action.
Once you get them on.
Yeah. They ain't coming off. Like a flashlight finger trap.
So they've only got one cannon, but it's on lend to the Empire, while one of their 8 are serviced.
It's on lend, yeah. So Bretonnia is one of the factions in Warhammer that had the fewest number of actual army books released. They only had 2 across 5, the kind of big 5 coherent editions of Warhammer Fantasy. So it was available in 5 and 6. 5th and 6th edition, I suppose, is the correct way of saying that. They also did have their very first army list in the Warhammer Armies book, which was a compendium of all of the forces in Warhammer Fantasy for 3rd edition. And I'm just going to start throwing up an image here. And that has the kind of 2 main pages from the list. And our listeners will be able to have a look at that, and you'll see that on the left.
So these are like character sheets.
Yes, that kind of idea. Yeah. So each one of those boxes represents a troop type that you can have in the army, and it gives you there the models per unit. So it gives you a maximum number of types of miniature you can have, and of those groupings, how many you can have in a single unit. You'll notice there's quite a divide there between cavalry and infantry. So we have 5 flavors of cavalry and 6 flavors of infantry. Now, this is only pages 1 and 2 of the army list. There was a page 3 that had a war altar, so like a mobile shrine, basically. And you could have a cannon as well for the Bretonnian army list. The cannon.
Just one cannon.
The cannon.
Everything has French names. Well, the cavalry has French names. And it was based on medieval French armies, like historical medieval French armies. There was nothing fantastical about the individual units as such.
They look pretty harmless, don't they?
Well, yeah, they look effective, but not like scary, glowing with the blessings of the lady.
Not the villains.
No.
The villains look like he's just finished a bag of hooch.
Hobo! I don't know why he's charging in a battle saying his own name.
He's pissed.
The later editions of the Bretonnian army list held that kind of divide, although drastically reduced the number of the different types of infantry you can have. There are still 5 types of regular horsey cavalry, but there's now only 2 or 3, depending on your perspective, types of infantry to be taken alongside. So Bretonnia really became an army focused on cavalry. And indeed, if we throw up another image here of, this is taken from the Old World tabletop game. So this is what a Bretonnian army looks like on the tabletop now, and indeed in 8th edition and the Old World edition.
It's a lot of horses.
Multiple units of cavalry supported by 2 or 3 different types of infantry unit there. And you'll also see some Pegasus Knights and a trebuchet on the top, top right.
The token trebuchet.
token trebuchet, which fires tokens, which is handy because the Bretonnian army requires a lot of tokens. You'll also see off in the top left a prophetess of the lady kind of blessing the army as it marches forth.
From a distance.
From a distance, there's a woman with a stick waving it at you.
Am I seeing the I've forgotten, what are those annoying religious zealots?
Oh, the Grail pilgrims in the bottom right.
In the bottom right, the Grail pilgrims,
Oh, yeah.
with their upside down shields and broken swords and stuff.
Exactly.
Send them in first.
So you'll notice that a kind of in the center band of the image, kind of slightly diagonally, you've got troops that are all kind of in the same color scheme. And so these are the Knights of the Realm on cavalry, and then you've got the men-at-arms in the bottom right-hand side. Realm Knights, yeah. Above that band, you've got the kind of three very colorful units of knights. And from left to right, those are the Knights Errant, who are prospective knights. They don't have the right to wear the Duke's heraldry at this time, so they have got their family's heraldry. The same is true of the Questing Knights, which is of the three colourful units, it's the central one. And those are the ones armed with two-handed weapons. And so they, again, have their own family heraldry, but it's overlaid with the kind of, what's it called? It's the heraldic symbol for lilies. So they have that on their heraldry, denoting that they're on the quest for someone called Lily. Yeah. Lilith nailed it.
They must be pinching those horses between their thighs like a fucking madman. Those two-handed swords seem awfully inconvenient for riding. Yeah. But then I suppose all of the other none of the others are the guys with the lances and the shields. Are they holding the reins with their shield hand?
They are, yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. There's no reins in the hands of the double-handed sword dudes.
No, not at all. Although it's interesting to point out that one of those miniatures, the knight is blindfolded, and there's a small boy on the back of his horse kind of whispering in his ear which way to go. It's a pretty good miniature.
Wow.
Why? Is that just
it's just character, just to kind of capture the kind of noble ridiculousness of the faction. The final kind of colourful unit there in the centre of the image overall, with the white banner, with the Grail on it, those are the Grail Knights. Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed it. Can I tell you why the Grail Knights? Because they look like knights and they've got a picture of Grail on the flag.
You're on fire. You're on fire.
Ben.
You are on fire.
And if you're not, you will be. Yeah.
I did a thing.
You did a thing.
Love me, Ben. Love me.
I don't have the strength this morning, Kral. Let us move on. Who's the black and white dude on his own? He's just kind of riding the solo in the background. He's late.
He's the.
That is, I think, in this image, that's meant to represent
Billy No Mates,
the Baron himself, leading faithfully from the back.
I was going to say that. You guys deal with this. I'm going to go take a shit. Yeah.
Just remember, what's that Blackadder line? And just remember, should you ever falter, I'm right behind you. Yes, sir. 20 miles behind us. Yeah. And then at the very front, the chap in yellow with the lance that has like a dragon's tooth or a dragon claw on the tip of his lance. That's either a paladin or another kind of Bretonnian hero.
Has he got a fur coat on?
He's got a big old collar, isn't it? He could go hand gliding on that.
You know, he's wearing a polo shirt with the collar popped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just cut it at the front. Yeah.
He's got an almighty golden dragon on his helmet.
Even in Bretonnia, rugby douches exist.
Yeah.
lads.
Yeah. Of special note within that, you'll see that the cavalry units are in a pretty weird formation. They're like in an arrow. with one at the front, two behind that guy, and then three behind that pair, and so on.
That's not odd. That's a classic cavalry charge.
It's called
formation, you fucking idiot.
All right, you fucking describe what it does and talk about its rules then.
Okay, all right. Right, you go for the arrowhead formation when you're charging at an enemy because exactly what it says on the tin. It's like an arrowhead, and it will spear through the front line and split apart the whatever the front line is. Probably a bunch of spears against horses.
All right, don't make it needlessly sexual. Jesus.
Yeah, that's
right.
And then you reach through the enemy ranks to kind of grab it.
And then you feed the pony. And then
wow, this is gross.
Yeah,
guys.
if you want to pierce through enemy front lines, you take that formation, right? Ideally on the back of heavily armored, fast, fearless horses.
I thought they only ever take that formation if they arrive on the battlefield and the enemy is in the opposing formation, which is a backwards
ready
triangle.
to receive.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've got the backwards jigsaw piece, sir. Assume the formation.
Actually, Ben, in defense of lances, that formation is probably when lances will be quite effective. You just want to spear forward, right? But after that, drop the lance.
Let's steer it back. Do you want to know how effective it is? It's actually called the lance formation.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
But much like naming cultures in Warhammer 40k, it was actually invented by a guy called Lance. True story.
I stand by the stance that's fine.
The lance stance.
But it's just the lance stance. But it's just a one and done. You charge the sticks into something, fucking let go of it. Because if not, you're coming off and then you take
charge
off
through and they don't stop.
Yeah. Because if the guy in the front hits something big or several things and they stop him dead, the horse is just going to keep going, and then he's just going to basically take everyone off their horses behind him as they charge through. So
it's true. I've often found when I myself am in the lance formation, I am one and done. Anyway, it just in terms of its effectiveness on the tabletop, for instance, if you have a unit of 10 knights, kind of 5 wide, 2 deep, when they attack an enemy unit, only the front 5 can fight. In terms of the game rules. In the lance formation, because it's all the miniatures on the outside of the formation can attack, a unit of 10 in the lance formation, 7 knights can attack instead of the 5.
Oh, I see, because there's still people in the middle.
Yeah, as well as getting rank bonuses for if you've got any kind of row that is 3 or 4 wide. You get a +1 to the combat resolution. It is, to use my Irish accent, devastatingly effective. But also, it's very easy to blunt the lance. You just got to charge it from the side. And in general, as Ben has correctly pointed out, once you attack, once the lance formation hits the unit or the opposing unit, it then sort of reforms into a regular formation. Meaning that it is one and done, largely.
I see. So that lance formation is only at the initial part of the battle. They would then form into a normal row, I guess, afterwards?
Yes, if they lose the combat and do not cause enough damage to pierce the unit. Yeah.
Interesting. So would they split a unit into two, like the enemy units would split into 2 separate units? Is that
in the lore? Yes. On the tabletop, no. You just the unit would break. It would break formation and flee.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Little gobbos.
Go on, greenskins. Fuck them.
So what I thought we'd do is just do a quick recap of the units available to a Bretonnian army, as seen in that image, and indeed in other images. Right, so I've just put up a clatter of images there. We'll start with the archers. So there's a unit there of archers in the blue and red of Couronne, the dukedom of Couronne. And so it's a unit that's 2 deep by 8 wide, which is not an unusual formation for archers, because you want to have a good long frontage to make sure you get enough arrows shooting out of the...
What a nice spread.
A good spread, Chris. Exactly right. You'll see in front of the unit, they have a series of kind of stakes with chains on them. These are wooden stakes, not meat. That would be weird. And that gives them the capacity to kind of be in a defended position against attackers. So it's much like in Braveheart, when the knights charge and the lads pull up the stakes from the field. Yeah,
Last
it's
minute.
that kind of idea to give them some protection against cavalry.
Also tells them which direction to fire. Fire that way.
Well, that's the other benefit of the lance formation. It points directly at the enemy. So if you're far away, like that brave, cowardly duke at the back, you'd be able to see exactly where you don't want to be. All of these bowmen are peasants. They're all farmers or serfs with an E, not with a U, because they're not cool. So these are the workers of the land. These are the ones that are the peasant levy, really. So it's a unit created as needed by the local lord, and all their armor and weapons would be stored in the castle or fortress of that lord, because you don't want the peasants having any weapons at all.
Nice.
If we move up to the unit of halberdiers...
Halberdiers.
The halberdiers. These are the men-at-arms. So these, again, are serfs and peasants, but they have had some level of combat training.
And some drum lessons.
Yeah, well, one guy is very, very... I can't think of a famous drummer.
Dave Grohl. I mean, he was a drummer.
Dave
wasn't he?
Oh, yeah, Dave
There
Grohl.
you go.
Yeah.
That could be Dave Grohl. He's got frogs on the end of his beaters.
Yeah, I don't think that guy's ever drummed before. He's not doing it properly. He's just standing there with the drumsticks, screaming. No. Ah!
He's found a way to have a mid-battlefield snack. Because they are French.
Yeah.
This is the kind of the bulk of the infantry within a Bretonnian force are made up of peasant bowmen and men-at-arms. Men-at-arms, they're sort of a mishmash of, I think I said serfs and peasants, but also professional guards in quotes. They're like the watchmen of the local lord, as well as his kind of bullies and bruisers to go out and bully and bruise the local peasantry and kind of influence things in a stabby fashion. We then look at our good friends, the battle pilgrims, who we've discussed previously.
Yeah.
They are the worshippers of the knightly ideal or the knightly idyll of Bretonnia, and are some fairly stubborn-ass objective holders within the game itself. And so if you need to not only seize an objective but keep it, those are the guys that you would want while your lance formations are out lancing left, right, and center. Well, forward, really.
Have they just got good endurance? Good.
Yeah. What does that look like on the tabletop? Is it like a high defense stat?
In the games, objectives can even be a piece of open ground. Right. So it's not necessarily like a defensible position, although those are the best kinds. It can just be an area on the tabletop that they've decided, according to the scenario that you're playing, that you want, 2 objectives in the middle and then 2 each on either side of those diagonally, so you get 6 objectives. It's much like games of Kill Team or 40k, where it's objective based now rather than simply 2 armies going at it until one is broken, which is fun but dull after a few repetitions.
Right.
Those 3 form the vast majority of infantry in the Bretonnian army. So the peasant bowmen, the men-at-arms, and the battle pilgrims. We do have, as Chris pointed out there when I loaded up those images, the Eremo, although they are not defined as the Eremo. in 6th edition, and I think in the later kind of White Dwarf updates, if you remember Bertrand the Brigand, so in that image, you have Robin Hood, Little John, and Friar Tuck, effectively.
Crowd, Darren, and Ben.
Yeah, in a kind of lance formation of peasant bowmen, making it again, in that unit of 10, 7 of the archers can fire instead of what would have been 5 if it was a 5x2 unit. Those have come to be classed within the lore as the Eremos because they're effective and, you know, they're more shooty than other peasant bowman units of the same size, but they're still just peasant bowmen. They get a little kind of buff from the Bertrand the Brigand character, but they're good as skirmishers.
But nothing special.
Well, they are nothing. Well, they are the most special of the infantry, but nothing special in the Bretonnian wider army, if you see what I mean.
Gotcha.
You said that 7 would fire, but does that mean that the Robin Hood character, he's there as a buff rather than a fireable unit? Because he's holding a bow as well.
Well, no, the 7 I'm talking about there's 7 miniatures on the outside of that triangle of 10. So that would include the three special characters at the front, plus 2 other archers on either side.
On either side, right.
Yeah. Mr. Chris.
Can they split up and then be played individually as well? Or is it always a single unit and then they just die off and so they just lose their attack power or something?
Yes, in general, what happens with a unit of that kind of composition where you could easily replace the 3 kind of special characters at the front of that unit with the champion, the banner bearer, and the musician of a unit. That's the kind of command group, exactly. In general, if you're taking wounds from either range combat or melee combat, you remove the wound number that you've taken from the rear of a unit. So there's always a champion, there's always a banner bearer, there's always a musician. So in that unit, you would remove casualties from the rear ranks first. So there's
the lower value units first.
Yeah, it's like
the high values are the last to go.
Exactly right. And what I'd say is that even though they're painted green, those are the red shirts of the Eremo, using Star Trek parlance. They're the ones that get killed off on all the different planets.
Yeah.
The final unit there is I think it has 6 minis in it, a kind of, they're crouching archers, something's dragon.
Hidden dragons.
Yeah.
Hidden badger. Yeah.
That was the greatest porn remake ever. Crotchless trousers, something's dragon. Yep.
Knights of Bretonnia, today we ride forth against the vile hordes. Today, we show the world that chivalry is not dead, but alive in our hearts, our blades, and
excuse me, sir. Just so you know, I don't identify as a rider. I'm a questing knight. I wander. Very different energy.
Of course. Wonderful. Fine. Now,
And I identify as a Grail Knight. I don't just wander, I ascend. Honestly, I find wander a bit offensive.
yes, wander, ascend, whatever you like. We still fight as one.
Sorry. I identify as a knight errant. Young, unproven, reckless. If you lump me in with the rest, it kind of invalidates my, whole personal knight journey.
Fine. Personal knight journey acknowledged. Can we...
Hold on. We identify as the Knights of the Realm. The respectable middle class of knighthood. Not too lofty, not too errant. Just right. Please, acknowledge our Median identity.
Acknowledged, fully acknowledged. All of you are seen. Now.
What about me?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I identify as the knight that is black. No land, no hope, just an endless pit of sorrow. And when you ignore that, it makes me feel unseen.
You know what? Forget it. Fight your own fucking war. I identify as done with this bloody nonsense.
Does this mean we identify as abandoned? So what these are, they're described as yeoman archers, or really what they are is squires. So these are the body men of individual knights who are ranging out as a kind of elite, in quotes, unit of skirmishing archers used to harry the enemy at its flanks. So to some extent, one or two of them would be very minor nobles who are kind of squired to a given knight within a given lord's kind of castle or fortress. What we've done there is we've had a look at all of the infantry units in a Bretonnian army. Mr. Chris.
Wow.
These yeoman bowmen, love
Yeah.
that. You say they're elite, so are these the best archers on foot, infantry archers?
They're the most effective. Yeah, on an individual basis, they're the most effective archers.
More so than the Erimo. Erimo, you can just class them as regular archers.
Erimo get
peasant archers.
Yeah, I think in a later edition, the Bertrand the Brigand character gave the unit a buff so that their archery was quite effective. But in terms of the basic, a unit with no special characters, the yeoman bowmen are the Bretonnian dog's bollocks, which I suspect they would also eat in Bretonnia.
Yeah, or use them as beaters for drums.
Yeah,
waste of good frogs. That's all I'm going to say.
Frog
Waste of
stick.
good frogs.
But they're not as effective as frogs, Chris.
Yeah, because you hit one hit and it's gone.
I think it probably does that thing. What was it? Fantasia. It's like bum, 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 bum. I think the frogs sing as they get beaten.
Bum, bum,
Yeah.
bum.
With the advent of the Old World, we now have an additional unit of infantry,
Space
known
Marines.
as Space Marines. Yes, the Foot Knights. So these are Bretonnian horseless knights that fight in units on the tabletop. And so you see they are armed and armored as if they are indeed knights. They have their own kind of unique helmets, which is a phrase I never thought. I mean, it's so upsetting I wouldn't even dance under it as a name. Unique helmets. It's a very niche show. But that gives you an elite infantry unit that's able to blunt an enemy attack or really defend and hold an important piece of terrain, both in terms of lore and the tabletop.
Or deafen them with a war trombone.
Yeah.
It's more of a war oboe. Yeah.
A war bow.
I love the HUD ornaments that they're wearing on their helmets. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Is that a female knight at the front and center?
Yes, indeed it is. With the advent of the Old World, Games Workshop kind of within the lore changed the rules about who can become a knight and under what circumstances. So
I mean, for all I know, the helmeted knights are female as well. But
well, exactly, yeah.
But we're still a few years away from what's the name? Repants.
Okay,
Repants.
right.
Yeah. Deleonese. Okay. So it's toy soldiers. So yeah. Great.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're unshaven, they're either a lady or a child. So,
Well,
yeah,
as three guys with beards, I often take the same fact about all of humanity.
I mean, girls can have beards too. I mean, those two guys at the end there with the grey goatees. I mean, who's to say?
It's just it's a lot of beards with the kind of hooks on them over the ears and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that? That Monty Python and the Holy Grail thing where all the women are at the stoning, but they've all got beards on. Yes, Mr. Chris.
This new, relatively new. This is Age of Sigmar, is it? This new elite foot troop. It's not.
Oh,
it's not
wash your
Old World.
mouth out! It's the Old World.
It is the Old World. Sorry, I just thought that's what it was. Yeah. It did feel like Bretonnia were missing, like everyone's knighted, otherwise they're kind of shit if they're on foot. So it did feel like there was a gap that needed filling there in terms of an elite foot unit. So
there we are.
Are they seen as less? I suppose this is just tabletop dynamics at the moment, but it's kind of, because we are kin knights just to be mounted all the time. It is quite funny to see just a bunch of mounted losers, unmounted losers. That's what I'm going to call them.
Well, I mean, they are tactically unmounted, so they're unmounted for a reason. Yeah,
strategically unmounted. Unmount those knights strategically. What's your man with the horn called? Is he what's his title? Oh, he's a musician, is it? Right? Yeah. He's a tutor. He's a tutor.
He's a butler.
What's the is there some benefit to having him in a unit? Does he
the command group in general is the champion usually has either an improved capacity to hit the enemy or an additional attack to be able to hit the enemy more. The banner bearer gives you +1 to the combat resolution, which allows you to be a bit beefier in combat. So if you're fighting against an enemy unit that doesn't have a banner and you both cause the same amount of wounds, you get a +1 to your result because you've got a banner.
Right.
Musicians,
but two banners cancel each other out?
Yes, but then you look at like a rank bonus kind of thing. If you've got more guys, you get a +1 per rank of guys behind you as well. So there have been instances where it's been tied.
Right. Is your one in the middle a banner bearer then? Is that what she's carrying?
The one who's holding the ornate kind of signifier, the shrine on a pole, they are the standard bearer or banner bearer for that unit.
Right. Shrine on a pole.
So the musician allows them to do kind of battlefield maneuvers and reform the units if they've got that with a benefit to doing that to their leadership score to be able to reform the unit mid-battle. It can also give you a bonus to when you're like, is the unit going to run away? Well, if you can bravely toot on your frog drum, and then you'll be toot, and that will make it. It will hold the unit together.
It's okay. He's tooted.
He's drum tooting. He's hitting me with his tambourine made of frogs. We'll dive next into the cavalry, and so what we'll do is we'll start off with the mounted version of squires, who are the mounted yeomen, and so these are again, it's the body people of the Bretonnian knights. So these are knights in training, really, is how you'd look at squires. There is a bit of kind of a gray area within the lore as to whether these are a kind of elite, in quotes, peasants, or if they're the squires of the knights that are doing the fighting. But in terms of the tabletop, it's much of a muchness. So these are the kind of outriders of the army, the skirmishers. You'll see them there armored with spears. In many other factions, they can also be armored with bows, so they can harry the enemy from the flanks. and kind of
From
pepper them up a
enemies.
bit and disrupt enemy movement.
So those spears are they're quite a good design because they've got the hilt or what like the guard.
Yeah, they have a crossbar.
It's actually at the tip of the spear, so
those are historically accurate boar hunting spears. So those are spears designed, I believe, originally for hunting boar, and so it pierces the body, but the kind of cross guard underneath the spear tip stops the blade from penetrating too far in, so that you're not one and done. Then,
well, exactly. And I think if lances were to take a note from this book of spears, then maybe they wouldn't be such shit weapons.
Yeah, but then the Grail Knights couldn't kind of jiggle a load of dead people on their lances as a kind of, look at me, I'm winning.
Look at my winning kebab.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Nice. Kebab.
Thank you. The next type of knight is really the first kind of step into proper knighthood for many of the nobles in Bretonnia, and these are the knights errant. So these are the unhelmed knight kind of young men. So these will be, 16, 17 plus in terms of their age, not in terms of number. And they have their own kind of familial heraldry. So they're a very colourful unit on the tabletop. And indeed, in Warhammer Fantasy, all of the knights had their own distinct heraldry. So a Bretonnian army was incredibly colourful. And kind of really great looking on the tabletop.
Makes a refreshing change from the normal old world palette of brown and green.
Exactly.
Was it
right,
shit mud brown?
Of shit and mud.
of the Erimo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it kind of comes back to that the topic that we were last discussing in the 40k podcast about Space Marine commanding units having no helmets on. It's like there's two guys in that unit there who are wearing helmets.
Yeah.
Why clearly far more effective. Like,
well,
just put the helmet on, dude.
They're probably about to be promoted to the next rank, so it's fine.
Right, okay. Yeah.
You've got to dress for the job you want, Ben.
They're wearing like head scarf things, bandanas almost.
Yeah.
Like 80s Karate Kid characters.
Yeah. Amazing.
They are 16, aren't they? Jesus.
When you hear, we've discussed in the past about errantry wars. If you recall, this is where the king declares a crusade. And it usually comes at a point where there's either a terrible threat to the kingdom of Bretonnia, or there are too many young knights in Bretonnia, so they've got to send them off on a war to kind of thin the ranks. And so these are the types of knights that are sent en masse, the errantry knights, the ones that have got to go out and make a name for themselves.
A bit, just like
yeah. We've got too many. There's a surplus. That guy at the front, the third guy with the helmet that I missed, Chris quite rightly pointed out, he has a sword chain, like a wallet chain.
Yeah.
It's just attached to it. Is that just in case he drops it, it still
Yeah.
hangs off? It looks like it's hanging off his armpit.
Wherever. Doesn't matter, does it really? As long as it's connected to you.
just attach it wherever. Doesn't really matter. That's I used to attach my wallet chain around my neck. Yeah. Very effective. Yeah.
Just get dragged down the fucking high street when you got mugged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me take this fucking thing off. I made a mistake.
Just take the wallet. Why did I put a chain on it? I don't know.
No, sword chain. Definitely. I think that's great.
You approve.
Great idea.
I
do. Yeah.
Now you saw in the image of the whole Bretonnian army, the units of knights that were kind of red and black. They had a uniform.
Oh yeah.
Those were in the old world. Those are the Knights of the Realm. In Warhammer Fantasy Battle, the Knights of the Realm were as colourful as all the other units of knights. So these here are Knights of the Realm. These are knights in good standing and are defenders of the Bretonnian kind of culture. So in terms of the types of unit of cavalry, This is the most common type within a Bretonnian army, the Knights of the Realm. And you saw there in that the image of the whole army, there was a couple of units there. So those are the tactical marines of the Bretonnian army.
They'll get the fucking job done.
Exactly right. So you would become a knight of the realm after completing your errant crusade or your errant quest as a younger knight errant. Very effective on the battlefield, full use of the lance formation, kind of very good leadership for human troops, and take a great deal of kind of solace from other units of knights around them. Interestingly, with knights, in the game itself, if a unit of your troops break and flee, adjoining units or units within a certain number of inches also have to take a leadership test to see if they also break and flee. So it's a way of kind of showing that armies can be kind of rolled up like a carpet if struck at the right place. Devastating tactic when used against like low leadership armies like Skaven or goblins. But for the Bretonnian knights, they only have to take that test for other knights if other units of knights break. They don't have to take that test for peasants. So you could see that a whole unit, most of the infantry gets wiped out, but the knights are still valiantly one and dunning enemy units left, right, and centre.
It's like bloody peasants. Yeah, that sort of
bloody peasants.
I thought you meant because peasants are unbreakable. Only knights are breakable. Yeah. Doesn't happen to peasants because they got the minerals.
So, for many knights, they spend a long time as Knights of the Realm, or indeed their entire lives as Knights of the Realm if they're not particularly effective fighters. It is at some stage during this that knights decide to go on a quest to try and find the Grail. And so you have units then occasionally come up, as I've just posted up there, of questing knights. So these are the knights that are armed with two-handed swords. Quite correctly, Chris has mimed there that their musician is a lute player.
Oh, yeah.
And They do have a banner as well. You can just vaguely make out behind each knight is all of his worldly possessions strapped to the back of the horse, or the back of the saddle.
Oh, there's the blindfolded knight.
And the blindfolded knight there as well. You can just make out the head of the kid behind his own head.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I have to say, these questing knights they can't be doing very well on their quests if they're all together in a battle. They could have received visions to come together. We've all received visions, Darren.
As we've mentioned in the past, there are different kind of vows. So these guys will have the questing vow, which makes them pretty unshakable and really good kind of melee combat fighters, armed as they are with the dreaded two-handed sword that knights are so famously known by. Amazingly, very few headless horses in such a unit. You'd think that would be an occurrence of monotonous regularity.
Although your man with the banner with the boy on the back and the blindfold, his horse is like ready for any sort of neck slashing.
The bannered, blindfolded, boy laden.
Yeah. Boy laden.
Boy laden.
He's got his shield, he's got chains on it. His banner is very, very top heavy. I'm not going to lie. That must be a fucking nightmare to carry.
Well, it's probably a tapestry and a load of scrolls. So, it's not a minor weight. Guys,
especially when it rains. Fucking hell, when that thing gets sodden. Jesus.
Yeah, Christ. Or any sort of wind. It just takes off.
You're going to have to put that shield with the sword on it down, mate.
Yeah, it's going to need 2 hands. I like it. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Pain in the ass to paint. Yeah,
no doubt.
The final kind of unit of terrestrial knights are the Grail Knights themselves. So these are the knights that have received a sip from the, what do we call it? Furry chalice?
The furry chalice, yep.
And so these are the veteran space marines of the Bretonnian army. Again, they use the lance formation. They are devastating in combat. If you want, the questing knights are good line breakers. They can either break smaller enemy units or hold larger units toe to toe, so they can blunt an enemy attack. The Grail Knights just plow through everything because they've got that most precious of things, a second attack.
Ooh.
And they're immune to psychology. So they don't break and they keep fighting.
God, I love the idea that like you've got, a guy, he starts off as a young noble, he's a squire, he's on foot, and then he gets a horse, so he gets that upgrade, and eventually he becomes an errant knight, and and then he becomes a knight of the realm, and he kind of works, and then he goes on a quest, and he eventually finds the Grail, he gets a sip, he turns into a space marine, and then he goes into battle with a trumpet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That seems
like
but a waste.
You're not seeing there. It's a really sturdy steel trumpet. He's beating people to death with that trumpet.
Yeah, it's better than the second guy on the left's dildo, where he's fucking waving around. Look at that fucking thing.
The dildo of death.
That's a morning star.
That's the morning. It's a morning glory crowd.
Name for your dildo is that's fine. But yeah, call it what you want. The fucking sex.
The cat and nine tail. Yeah,
cat and nine tail.
That's what I call my dildo.
The final unit of knights available to a Bretonnian force are the RAF of the Bretonnian army, and these are the Pegasus Knights. So these are, they're elite knights, not Grail Knights, but they are riding Pegasi or Pegasuses into battle. So these are great for flying out ahead of the army, usually around the flanks, where they can destroy enemy war machines and attack the more powerful enemy units from the rear, depending on whether they're kind of doing short kind of floating flying hops, or they're actually ascending into the sky and then charging down. Mr. Chris.
Are Pegasus, are they endemic only to Bretonnia, or do you see them other places as well?
No, you see them in other places. They're available as mounts to the Empire, but the only other army that really has them with monotonous regularity are the High Elves. Of course, we've seen there the links between High Elves and Bretonnia. We have discussed
Pegasus themselves. Are they found all over the old world, or
usually in the mountains? Very few subterranean Pegasi. They probably do exist.
Underwater Pegasus.
Usually along the vaults and the grey and black mountains of that
so they're all over
region
the world.
of the Empire. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, the migratory.
What does their movement look like on the table? Are these the units that can like ignore?
Well, on the table it looks like a giant hand comes down and grabs them and lifts them up and moves them forward.
The claw.
Yeah, because they have the flying rule. They can fly over terrain and enemy units.
Right.
They still have a mandated movement in terms of inches, but they ignore all terrain. As with most editions of fantasy, you can't land on terrain. You have to land next to it. There's some exceptions, but in general, that's it.
Yeah, land off the table.
Landing next to terrain is still on some sort of form of terrain, right?
Yeah, well, you either land in open terrain, so that's basically the tabletop. Hills are some exception to that. You can land on top of a hill. You can't land in a forest. You can't land on a building.
On a building.
Or in a lake.
Open flat ground.
Somewhat offensively in Bretonnia, you can't land in a lake. You can explode out of it.
Swan dive.
Yeah.
Into the best night of your lives.
Night with a K.
What's their movement like? Is it much long? Like, do they have much greater movement than?
Depending on the edition, it's either 12 inches or 14 inches. In terms of how far they can fly. I think they've nerfed. I can't recall exactly what it is in the Old World game.
What the knights and infantry move?
Human infantry tends to move 4 inches. Cavalry can move up to 8 inches. In earlier editions of fantasy, it is also you were encumbered by your armor. So a knight on a barded warhorse in full plate armor could move 6 inches rather than the full 8 inches because of the weight of the armor being worn.
Gotcha.
The Pegasus Knights there will lead us nicely into the Lords and Heroes section of this thing. So here is a Bretonnian Lord on a Pegasus. This was a miniature released for Warhammer the Old World, and it's a significantly larger Pegasus than the 3 seen in the previous image.
He's by far the coolest looking and probably better painted. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, because it's a Lord. Yeah. There is, in the kit, you can also you can replace the lance with the kind of army battle standard. So instead of it being a Lord on a Pegasus, it's a Bretonnian hero or a paladin on a Pegasus with the battle army standard. And that gives you a big area effect boost to your combats and your leaderships in terms of keeping the army kind of focused on the battle at hand rather than their own individual lives.
Rather than their phones.
Yeah, on their phones, exactly right.
Can they attack if they have a standard?
Yes, you can still. It has no impact to their effectiveness in combat. The other kind of ranks of heroic knights are the various types of Bretonnian paladin. So these are the heroic and lord level characters within the army. We've got one guy on foot there, and he's a Bretonnian hero with a 2-handed sword and some sort of jizz lamp.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think it's candles. We then have 3 kind of heroes on horseback. You'll see the kind of Duke level guy with the battle axe, the 2-handed battle axe, the paladin hero in yellow with the dragon's
pimp coat.
Yeah, the dragon's tooth lance.
Yeah.
And then in the center there, we have a army battle standard. So that's a paladin, a Bretonnian hero with the kind of Grail banner of the local lord or the local Grail chapel. And so these are the hero level characters that an army can have in terms of the kind of combat. We've discussed previously the Grail damsels that can be taken within an army. These are the wizards and magic users. I refer you to the Heroines of Bretonnia episode. So we see a Grail damsel or a prophetess on foot, and then I think that's the special character Elise Duchard, but we use it to represent, with her massive Grail on a unicorn.
Love it.
Nice.
These are basically the mages, right?
The mages, yes. And so we want to, of course, give a nod to our old friend, the only artillery piece available to the Bretonnian army from Warhammer Fantasy, from 5th and 6th edition, which is the trebuchet, the field trebuchet.
Hey, trebuchet!
Trebuchet! Which looks amazing, and if I believe correctly, a fucking nightmare to put together. The actual miniature itself.
It looks
but I
so
think
sick.
they've re-released it it's still in resin, I think. And so that's a pain in the ass to assemble. Of course, now in the old world, they have access to a cannon as well if the Bretonnian army is based in the Badlands. Mr. Chris, you had your chalice up.
Yeah, just looking at the trebuchet model, there's a few individual units, probably the trebuchet operatives scattered around
the crew.
the trebuchet itself. One of them has like a hound with him, which immediately made me think, back in the day, hounds would have been really effective in battle, right? Do you get hound units and hound masters in any armies?
I thought you were suggesting they were ammo.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
You
That's
get,
just cruel.
You get creature units. So, for instance, the Skaven can herd giant rats and rat ogres and rat wolves into battle. You used to be able to get warhounds in various units. So, Chaos, Chaos, Dark Elf, Lizard Men. I think there was one other. I can't remember exactly. But yes, you used to be able to field units of warhounds within Warhammer Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Like he's brought his pup along.
Why is part of that kind of array, there's just a little stone pillar?
That's the ammo.
That's
chipping bits off.
they're chipping it away because one guy's got like a mattock. So it's part of the rocks they're flinging at the opposing force.
And you got Dennis the Menace sat on a wheelbarrow in the middle with his little catapult, just like annoying people.
The final group we should mention, and we have discussed these guys previously, are the kind of named special characters from Warhammer Fantasy, not from the Old World. And these are the Fey Enchantress, the Green Knight, and the King, Louie Lionheart. So they all had miniatures, which I've popped in there. And of course, all of the images for this episode will be in the show notes.
There's a slimy Green Knight.
And so really, that's your lot. That is the force and army that Bretonnia can field. So, and that's your lot for Bretonnia in general in the episodes. We are now done with the Bretonnian faction. Thoughts?
All hail the Lady of the Lake. They're not half as bad as you keep whining on about, Darren. All right.
I know.
They're okay.
There's a lot of laughs.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of, like, should we call the forces of good human, have we? Was this the first one we did? I can't think of any of it we've done.
Yeah, we did elves.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the first human force we've done, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I particularly like the lone knight who's got a big double-handed sword. He's on his own and he's resting it into the skull of
orc's
that orc.
head.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm normally against violence against greenskins, but he just looks like
that's true. You are known
I'm
for
a
that.
badass.
It's a solid tactical rock, isn't it? It's a tactical head.
Lose the jizz candle thing, and you're all right.
And maybe trim down the antlers as well. They seem a little.
I think you file down antlers, Ben. Yeah.
It's a bit top heavy, isn't it? It's gonna play havoc with his neck muscles. But as soon as Dar put up, I was like, that is.
He's looking at you right in the eye, isn't he? He's like, fuck you, Kralin. I killed a green.
But when I first saw it, I thought he was holding the jizz candle. And then Dar was like, it's hanging off thing. I was like, oh, fuck, where's his hand? And I could not see his hand for ages.
You don't touch it.
Yeah, you don't touch the jizz candle. Yeah. Don't even look at it. Don't look at it. You'll get it in the eye.
Right, so given that this is our final episode on Bretonnia, I have received a message from
the King,
Louie Lionheart himself,
the King,
who has been so touched by our love and noble sense of humor that he has given us titles for us to offer from. So I thought I'd read them out here. We'd pick one. We'd pick each pick one for each of us. So we'll start off with Sir Kral, whose new names and titles to go along with some pretty good lands in Bretonnia. So for Kral, we have Reginald de Buckaroo, Hermano Falconer of the Massive Or Kral.
Reginald. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We then have Marquis Philippe Dubiscuit, champion of the Ladies' Golden Shower.
I like or Kral just because it's got the word Kral in it so far. Yep.
And then we have Viscount Henri du Kral, the over-dramatic pedant knight of Orleans.
I like the last one. Yeah.
So we're going with the last one. So you are now Viscount Henri de Kral, the over-dramatic pedant knight of Orleans.
Henri de Kral, yeah, very flamboyant.
Vikral. Yeah.
Vikral.
Vikral.
For Ben, your titles to choose from here are Sir Percival du Fromage, Breaker of Sleeves, Guardian of the Archery Show.
Nice.
Lord Bastien of Laboratoire Garnier, Clean Skin Champion of the Marbled Coiffure.
That's good. That's good.
The final one we have here is Count Macaron de Croissant, defender of the shrine of the Buffet de Lady.
Well,
Macaron de croissant.
yeah, that's it. That's the macaron de croissant.
Macaron de Croissant. So we've got, I think you two will have to pick my one here.
Yep,
So
okay.
we've got Sir Hugebert de la Soul, the honor-bound, parentheses, unless there's Albion cream.
Wow, that was complex.
Baron Guillemot du Obelix, shield bearer of the moist, saggy chalice.
Yeah, like it.
Okay.
And finally, Earl Ferrero du Rocher, hermit knight of the Patisserie Valerie.
Oh, what was the second one? That was the one. Obelisk something.
Oh, Baron Guillaume d'Obelix, shield bearer of the moist, saggy chalice.
I think it's got to be that
Yeah,
way. I
shield
love the
bearer
idea
of the moist, saggy
of Dar being
chalice.
Obelix from Asterix.
Yeah.
Just dragging around menhirs with him.
I feel attacked, but also given that I wrote these, I'm fine. Yeah. The king wrote them.
Nice.
The king wrote them.
Nice. Love it.
I'll be interested to see what we cover on the next episode, because I have yet to decide.
Oh,
Fantastic.
dwarves. No,
Dwarfs.
Done dwarves.
Dwarfs.
Okay.
Dwarfs. Chaos dwarfs.
Yeah, on balance, Bretonnia, not as bad as I remember.
Yes.
You see?
Excellent.
Yeah,
When you
Yeah.
say it out loud, yeah.
It's always good to keep an open mind.
they're pretty fun.
Yeah, they're good.
They are.
They're good.
It's the first kind of cohesive, like history of it. It's all kind of flows along one singular line, and there's the kind of additional stories kind of sit quite nicely in it. It's not piecemealed, and I felt like there was
No, I
a
agree.
real
I think
momentum to it.
I think that's the benefit of having your entire country be tricked by an elven goddess. And it keeps
what
it
I've always
focused. Keeps it focused. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, fucking excellent. Shall we say goodbye?
Bye.
Okay, bye, Grail. All right, that's all from us. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more Old World content, just hit the Patreon link in the description and sign up today to listen to our bonus show, Chunks of Dar. Details and imagery for the topics we've discussed in this show can be found on our website at layingdownthelore.com, where we also have all of our previous episodes, release schedules, and merch. And you can also join our Discord for free. Just hit the link in the description and come and tell us what you think about Bretonnian Knight. About Bretonnian Knight headwear and how disproportionate it is.
Hood ornaments.
Yeah, hood ornaments, yeah. We'll be back again soon to display just how little Krell and I know. And until then, a goodbye.
A goodbye.
Let's not say goodbye. Let's say au revoir.
You've never spoken French before, have you, Darren?